I didn't do my vocal warm-ups today.
Are you going to put that on the pod?
No.
Maybe that'll be our intro.
What?
I didn't do my vocal warm-ups today. Are you going to put that on the pod? No.
But then they'll assume I do them all the other episodes, and I don't because I
And
sound so
then they're
bad on
going to
those.
listen to compare.
They're going to be like, why does she sound worse in these episodes? I haven't done them for a few
They'll
weeks.
be like, you don't need to do vocal exercises. Whatever you were doing that one day.
Bad.
Well, hello, and welcome to Anxious at Bedtime.
We are your hosts. That is Cash.
And I'm always Cash. That's Monica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you have any ketchup?
I do not. You may not believe it, but I'm a forgetful fella. I don't.
I don't think I have anything today either.
Odd.
Yeah. I'm yearning for Salem. I know that.
Ooh, that was a good time.
Yeah, yearning for mass, if you will.
Boston was wonderful. Salem was amazing. We had good times.
Oh, yeah.
Wicked good times, some would say. I'm some, she's some. We say wicked good times now. Say wicked good times now.
Wicked good times now.
Well, you don't have to say now.
Well. Speaking of Salem, I know we are sort of in the middle of a Salem series, but like I said last week, we definitely have to take a break this week. We're going to be stepping aside a little bit just so that I can fully condense the research, make sure it's a good episode.
We want quality.
Yeah, quality. Plus, I'm kind of walking a tightrope trying to make sure that I do good research, but also, like, I know I want to cover the House of Seven Gables and, like, the Proctor home and stuff like that because they're haunted, and I don't want to do just a bunch of repeat information, you know?
Yeah, not some generic mumbo-jumbo stuff that,
I just don't want to keep telling the same story over and over.
that we already said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this week we are stepping away from Salem for a little bit, and we are talking about glitches in the Matrix.
I glitched once.
Yeah, you did.
If you guys didn't know, I don't know if I'm from the same timeline as my wife anymore.
Yeah, me either.
Some of these Mandela effects and some of the things we remember, just not always the same. And then, just so happened to be with my sister and whole family too.
What?
Some song from our childhood. My sisters and my dad, they all remember the lyrics the same way, and me, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I thought they were mixing two songs up. Apparently, I'm the odd man out.
Well, I love you to death, but when it comes to song lyrics, I don't know if I believe that that's a Mandela coming from you.
No, hold on. These are not legit lyrics. Like, this is not a real song.
Oh.
It's a song that we remixed that we all used to sing.
Do you love creme brulee?
I do, actually. But it was not that. It was not a remix of a song. It was just somebody. It was like a nursery rhyme that was a remix, something like that.
Oh.
I can't tell you what it is because apparently I'm wrong.
All right. On that note, so I have for you today 5 Reddit stories, which, by the way, I've been thinking we might need to change the name of our listener stories because they're not technically listener stories for the most part. We kind of burned through all of those.
We kind of try and get some of these guys to listen, and we'll see. None of them have told us that they do.
No,
some have.
Some have, yeah. But for the most part, it's me scrolling on Reddit in the middle of the night and finding stories that scare the crap out of me and then messaging these people to say, hey, can I read your story because I'm scared?
She asks permission, and then she reads it to me to see if I get the crap scared out of me, and usually...
He does.
You liar. You
So,
made that part up.
We might be changing the name. I don't know. I think like Reddit experiences or something fits a little bit better.
Reddit aloud.
Yeah. Reddit. I like what you did there. It took me a second.
Hopefully it doesn't take everybody that long.
So maybe we won't do that one.
Aw.
But yeah, because we definitely share some listener stories, but they're mostly my Nana stories because she has a freaking lot.
If you guys didn't know, her Nana's from the Appalachians.
Oh yeah, my Nana's so haunted.
Well, that's a rude thing to say, I think.
Maybe, but she's haunted.
She's haunted as fuck.
That girl is followed by ghosts. And
If you
she's
know
being
a
like
ghost, she probably has been haunted by it.
terrorized right now in her house by like some man watching her sleep.
It's not her husband.
It's not her husband, no,
For sure it's
but
not.
like some man standing in the dining room in the middle of the night. I tried to have her on as a guest, but she got cold feet. We'll bully her into it one
That's
day.
another one of the things she's haunted with is just wicked cold feet.
Anyway, we're rambling, so let's get into story number
I
1.
wasn't. Don't accuse me of that. I was doing excellent. That was banter. Now I'm rambling.
Are you ready?
To ramble? Let's get ready to ramble. What do you have?
Story number 1 comes from Anonymous and Omen. Oh man. Oh, I
Oh
looked it
man.
up earlier.
Oh.
I think it's Oh man.
Oh man.
I've always been skeptical of paranormal stories, but something happened to my sister that I genuinely can't explain. About 6 years ago, she lost her wallet. It contained all of her ID cards, her bank cards, and around $130 in cash.
Been there, player.
She clearly remembers putting it in the drawer next to her bed. She and her husband searched the entire house multiple times. They emptied drawers, checked every room, and even started doubting whether she had actually left it there. Her husband had searched the car and every other place they could think of. Nothing. After a week, they accepted that it was gone. They canceled all of the bank cards, replaced every important document, and eventually forgot about it. Then, just 2 days ago, 6 years later, they came home and found the wallet in that same bedside drawer. Everything was still inside, every card, the cash, nothing was missing. What makes it even stranger is that during those 6 years, my country completely redesigned its paper currency. The bills inside the wallet were the old version and no longer in circulation, making it obvious that they had been sitting there, untouched all this time. I know people will suggest that they had simply overlooked it, but they insist they searched the drawer repeatedly, especially during the first week when they were desperate to find it. Something similar has happened to me several times, although never for years. I'll lose an object, search everywhere, fail to find it, and then hours, a day, or at most a couple days later, it suddenly appears in a place I've already checked. Has anyone else experienced something like this? Is there any explanation besides simple forgetfulness?
Wish I had a direct contact to this read it aloud storier. Because I understand that the currency had changed,
Yeah.
but did the expiration date on all the cards
Oh,
surpass? It's been 6 years. Had it been sitting there for 6 years, or had it changed through timelines?
that's a
Because
good
if they
question.
had looked in 6 years, I'm reluctant to believe that that was the only time, was in that week that it was missing initially. That in 6 years, that was the only time that they opened that drawer.
No.
They had to have gone through it multiple times after, right?
Yeah, I even double checked and I asked follow-up questions. It's their normal like nightstand drawer. They were in it all the time.
Exactly. So they would have had to have come across it unless there was some kind of timeline shift
Yeah.
where it came back or somebody was fucking playing hide and seek with it for 6 years.
Yeah,
That's less likely in my book.
I think so, yeah.
But if it's like a paranormal, especially timeline shift, did the cards expire or were they current?
That is a very good question.
In what currency?
Yeah, I don't know what currency. I should have asked that too. I mean, that doesn't really matter to the story, but it is still interesting.
Well, it matters to my. I just want to know. Because, what country changed their currency that long?
Yeah,
That short ago?
that's just like a fun fact. Yeah, I had the same question.
Yeah, America just recently said we're not doing pennies anymore, and that was
I don't think that counts.
pretty wicked. About the biggest change I've had. Anyways,
But yeah, I asked some follow-ups and basically everything that we already know from that. It was a drawer that was constantly checked. They did search all over for it. It was the sister that ended up finding it 6 years later.
oh, she stole it. Yeah, got it.
No, the sister who lost the wallet. It was the same sister who found her wallet.
Oh,
Yeah.
she found her own.
Yeah, found her own wallet. And then when she opened that drawer, she wasn't looking for anything. She just, like, normal daily routine, opened it and it was there. Because I had the thought, perhaps if she was looking for something else, she accidentally, like, I don't know, like manifested something else that was lost. You know what I mean? And she's like, oh man, where are my car keys? I can't find them. But it wasn't that. So I have no idea besides a glitch.
A glitch, a timeline shift,
Yeah, something. But as for other people that have experienced stuff like that, we experience stuff like that a lot.
Just the other day, last week, with the
Yeah,
fucking podcast plug.
exactly. We had to post our episode late because I couldn't find a cord. It was literally one cord that I have to be able to edit our episode. Could not find it anywhere.
It's always in the same two places, either plugged into the laptop or in the drawer where it belongs.
Exactly. And because we have just one cord and it's like 3 inches long, I'm very like
Hey, it's 6 inches.
I'm very this is now poor timing for this word, but I'm very anal about where I put it. So I know I didn't just put it somewhere random, but we couldn't find the cord, and we had just returned from Salem, Massachusetts, where we said we'd buy our haunted doll Shirley, who's always in the pod room, a friend, but we couldn't find any haunted dolls in Salem. And we explained that on the podcast, and then the next day the cord was missing.
And I know for a fact that the day prior, the cord was in the drawer.
Yeah,
I saw it when I was searching for our Zoom.
which is what we record on. But I searched and searched and searched and I could not find it. So finally I sat down, literally posted a TikTok that our episode's going to be late and we weren't sure how long it would be until it was up. And then I looked up and the cord was sitting on the floor right in front of me.
Dry snitching on herself that she posted that we were going to be late and it didn't have to be.
Yeah. At that point it was done. Way too late in the day to edit the episode, get it out, whatever. Regardless, yeah, little stuff like that happens around here a lot, but never to the extent of 6 years. That's crazy.
That is. Well, I hope you figure it out. Next.
Yeah. Yeah, besides a glitch, I have a glitch or a ghost, honestly, are the two explanations I have.
The ghost pocketed it and
Yeah.
it disappeared with them for 6 years.
Maybe. And they're like, I just want to feel like a human today. Look at me with this cute little wallet.
They got a ghost upgrade and they're like, you get new pants unlocked. Check it out. And they fucking drop the wallet and they're like, shit, I gotta put that back.
Like that show we watched. What was that?
Ghost.
No, Upload.
Oh,
Yeah.
Upload.
You pass away and you pay to upload your consciousness onto like a streaming platform. And then you can pay for upgrades like pants.
I mean, yeah, but I didn't mean pay for it. Just
Oh.
like, this ghost has been around for a long time. They gotta update a little bit.
Ah.
Let's get with the time. You're creeping people out too much.
Put some pants on.
Hey, Schmidt, get your pants on.
Okay, story number 2 comes to us from Paige.
Thanks, Paige.
Yeah, I love that name. It just reminds me of like a library.
It reminds me of an intercom.
Oh. I like mine better. Like I hear the name Paige and I picture somebody like wandering through leather-bound books with a little cute book tote, you know?
I
Iced
get that.
coffee, yeah. Anyway, on to the story. 7 years ago, my friend and I were sitting on a crowded area on the beach where lots of locals hang out in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
I've heard of it.
You have. This was in July. The beach was packed. I think it was 11:30 in the morning, a perfect weather day. Bright blue sky, had to be 98 degrees easily. Let me add, we were stone cold sober, nor were we hungover. We were sitting there talking to each other when I turned away to get something for my bag. Suddenly I noticed all the sound on the beach had disappeared. Completely silent. No sound of surf, seagulls, people, nothing. I looked at my friend and I whispered, "What are you hearing?" She said nothing. What is it? People were behaving normally. We could see them talking and heard absolutely nothing. Within several seconds, the sound just rematerialized. It wasn't exactly a crash, but it wasn't slow either. We just looked around us and out into the water. A few people here and there looked like they were doing the same thing we were, puzzled by what had just occurred and wondering what kind of phenomenon they had just experienced. This is the first time I ever put this down. I'm not some crazy. It sounds bizarre, but if I didn't have her with me, I would never have believed that it really happened. Has anyone ever been through something like this? Note, our area of the beach also had some unexplained lighting very late at night, but we were basically used to that. My house would get washed a few times a month. We call it our ET effect. We never caught anyone with lasers or lights that could do exactly what these did. They wrapped your whole house in extremely bright lights with varying colors. We figured it was the military. I don't remember reading that last paragraph when I asked for this story.
We will see if we remember this conversation after this episode.
Yeah, that is terrifying. Aliens have visited you, Paige.
Are you ready for my response?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a layered response here because there's multitude of things that this could be, okay?
Okay.
As a conspiracy nut.
Tinfoil hat is
I love
on.
Conspiracies. Yeah, me too, because it's pretty fun. Okay, one. Both, yeah, possibly. Governmental, UFO, either, well, UAP, you know.
Yeah.
Interdimensional beings. So yes, all of it could be a possibility. That's the most fun part. It could be a plethora of things, honestly. So that's what's wonderful about that. You could have had a moment of just discernment.
What's discernment?
Sometimes people just become in tune with everything that's around them and drown out the things that are no longer relevant. That's the best way that I can explain it to this.
See, maybe, but I don't think so because their friend also experienced it and then the other people on the beach.
It's not always in solitude. Sometimes something happens that brings people
Oh,
discernment all at once.
that's
So
weird.
sometimes it's a spiritual, religious thing that people believe in, like something guided them all into discernment that separated them from everything to where it just kind of drowns out the world.
That's weird. I've never heard of that.
Look into it. It's pretty
I
crazy.
will.
Discernment, people are believe that they're born with it and they can see through bullshit. That's kind of the explanation of it too. Like some kids are born with discernment and they can tell that there's bad human beings and there's a lot of different layers to it, right?
Hmm.
A good possibility, absolute alien interference. They kind of wash out your brain to kind of, some of the stories that have been reported is for it to kind of go blank.
Maybe the whole beach was like abducted and that's why there's like this moment of because they like use technology. That sounds so conspiracy theorist, but they use technology to sort of like plant a memory back into your brain, but they don't fully understand how human brains work, so they didn't think to add volume. They were just like,
They
here,
just kind of
this is
create
playing.
that
Yeah,
3D effect all around so
yeah,
they can take you then and they just play this scene and you don't.
yeah.
But what they described is other people were talking to each other. So if this happened for everybody,
But they couldn't hear them.
they could be background actors that weren't
Yeah.
real, or it could be in those situations for those people that were there. They may not have noticed that they were abducted and may not have noticed the quietness and nothing happening, or that could have been what their conversation was. They could only hear each other
Oh,
because
yeah, it's
those
fair.
people were already attempting to talk to each other. So that was their experience
Just like
because they
Paige
had
was
a
able to talk
shared,
to her friend.
yeah, they had a
Hmm.
shared experience. Could also be something that has to do with electromagnetic fields, things of that nature that could cause a lot of disruption in the brain pattern. As
Maybe.
she said, that could be, from somebody on Earth, some kind of government that is messing with the public. Sometimes light strobes, high pitched sounds, frequencies, things of that nature cause a lot of resets in the brain and confusion. So it could be something of that nature.
Is South Carolina in the Bermuda Triangle? I know Florida, part of it is.
I think it's like outside of there somewhere.
That
No, I
would
don't
be,
think so. No, I don't think so. I think it's way too far north.
yeah, maybe. What about what's the other one? The Bridgewater Triangle.
Bridgewater Triangle. Where's that at?
Oh, it's just in Massachusetts.
So I'm going to go with no.
Yeah. I thought it was more states than that. I don't know then. That is very weird.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that report similar experiences that live in areas that are really close to like power plants and
Oh, and
electrical
the
areas.
data centers and stuff.
No, no, more of the electronics, like
Well, I've
power
heard
plants,
since stuff like that has started popping up, there's been weird things like that.
possibly. So yeah, the sad part is like I wish I could say, it was just a glitch and tie you in with a glitch. Golly, you got a wicked assortment of what you want to believe in, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Paige, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like we probably did not help, just made things worse.
I feel like it rendered a memory. Like I feel like I've had moments like that where everything just, but I have tinnitus,
Yeah.
so sometimes it's just ringing and everything else is drowned out. So it may not be the exact same thing, and it's not. I don't recall any time when it's been synchronized with other people to where we both kind of
Yeah, that's wild.
tune into the same, you know, space out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had that similar thing. It's just more I have ringing and everything else, kind of drowns out.
That might be tinnitus, but it might be aliens. I don't know.
I don't know if I'm visited by aliens that often. I think I'd rather that than the tinnitus, though.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. All right. Story number 3 by Anonymous. Something odd happened today that had my mom and I both very confused. My mom is visiting me from out of town, which rarely happens. We end up going to Walmart for cleaning supplies. While we're in the aisle checking out, we're discussing my infant daughter's hair. For context, her hair is a complete wild mess today. We brushed it out before we left, but didn't do anything with it, and her bangs were in her eyes and is driving me crazy. My mom begins asking me if I have any bows or hair clips at home. She wants to do my daughter's hair when we get there. I begin telling her about a large pack of baby bows that I have at home. As I'm beginning to describe it, I feel something bounce off my head and land on the checkout lane. My mom gasped, "Oh my god, it fell from the sky." I look down at the checkout lane, and it's the exact bow I was just describing to my mom. I picked it up and handed it to my mom and said, This is exactly what we have at home. Where did this come from?" My mom insisted that it fell from the sky or the ceiling of the Walmart and bounced off my head. She saw it falling directly on my head and bounce off. She was laughing and in shock. Neither of us could explain it. Pretty strange. "Girl, you manifested that hair bow out of thin air."
You may have been assaulted. I would have had the Walmart manager review that damn video. I'm not even
Yeah,
playing.
I know you're not playing.
195. Hold on. No, for sure, 250,000%. I would have called for the front end manager, the loss prevention asset protections manager. I would have called for the store manager, the store lead. I would have called their market manager, their regional manager, whoever the
Just keep
fuck could
going
go
up.
review until they reviewed the video. Like, I would have gone home, obviously. I ain't got all day to chill there. But emails would have been sent, and if my ADHD didn't get in the way, I'd follow up. For sure, I'd call a couple times that same store, and if they didn't fucking answer, I'm for sure getting pissed off because who the fuck threw these, and how'd you know that's what? How close were you that you were listening, and you
Yeah,
already had them in your hand? How long
that's
were you
so
listening?
weird.
That would be my first step, because yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody fucking threw that at you.
I don't think somebody threw it.
I think
What
so.
are the odds they would have those? She said she had just started describing them. The checkout area is so far from the hair accessories.
You're gonna need to request that video and send it to us so we can see how that materialized.
Yeah. Because that is something. Did it like fall, I don't know, like through the roof maybe from the rafters? Or did it like 2 feet above her head? Just boop, there it is. And then it hit her. Also, I just realized I think I was assuming your gender on this one. I'm sorry if you do not identify as female. I was just picturing me with my mom. I think. So I
Oh, you have a
apologize.
mom.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I used to, guys. Don't worry.
But yeah, I apologize if that was incorrect.
To be fair, that's the only person who really took me shopping when I was a toddler or a baby at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't have a dad back then. Now that's all I got.
Yeah.
Cut that part. Why did I make it
I
sad?
was gonna say brag.
You can leave that there.
Oh, we laughed through the trauma. Anyway, what that does remind me of though, the closest like experience that I have to that is before we moved to Montana, where we used to live in Oregon. We had a haunted grocery store, not a Walmart, but our local Thunderbird, Sherman's Market, was so haunted. Nothing like crazy, like things materializing like that, but it was like stuff flying off shelves as you're trying to shop. And it's not shelves like, you know how sometimes grocery stores you could reach your hand from one end to the other end of an aisle, two different aisles? Not like that. It was like normal shelves where there's a wall and stuff would just fly off. Do you remember that? And the produce?
I do. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know what they have on the East Coast that's comparable, but it's like equivalent to a Food Max or like a Winco, like the
Yeah.
depth of the shelves
Yeah.
on the East Coast. I really don't know what they have. Food for Less, Winco, Sack and Save. I don't
Maybe.
know.
I'm a very West Coast
I
girl,
am too. That's
unfortunately,
just,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, very weird stuff. Story number 4. Unfortunately, they never responded how they wanted to be credited. So, anonymous. I don't want to say someone's name if there's a chance they don't want it out there.
Understandable.
Yeah. So, anonymous. This happened back in August 2024 when my now fiance, his mother, and I went to Nova Scotia for a wedding.
Lucky.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet that'd be so beautiful. We had stayed in various hotels and Airbnbs along the way while staying in Nova Scotia. After the wedding, we wanted to get out of Antigonish? Antigonish? I'm so sorry. And I decided to look up fun places to stay. I came across this listing for a cottage on a hobby farm in a place called Christmas Island.
I hope it was an actual island.
That'd be cool.
Otherwise, it's a terrible name.
Well, It sounded extremely interesting, and the photos seemed amazing. It was a rustic, quirky cottage that was home to ducks, geese, chickens, and one massive, singular pig. It was available for last minute booking, and I showed me.
I showed me favored property to him.
Oh my gosh. I showed my fiance and his mother the pictures, and we all were super interested. I booked it, and we headed on our way. We had to cross a bridge, and I'm telling you, the second we crossed the bridge, I felt very unsettled.
My wife also hates going across bridges.
It's more than that for this story. Hold on. I brushed it off and kept it to myself. We couldn't check in until after 3 p.m., so we decided to grab an early dinner. It's a very small island, so there were not many restaurants, but we found one by the water. I'm not kidding when I say the restaurant seemed fake. It looked like a set on a movie. Very strange.
I've been to one of those.
Have you? Oh, yeah, you have.
Yeah.
That cowboy one?
Yeah, I thought I was going to get eaten. I thought I was going to be the next dinner.
Okay, tell that story at the end. Don't forget.
I will.
We get our food and ate it on the patio. It was next to the water and had what should be a beautiful view of the water and the mountains, but it just gave me creepy vibes, and I later would find out that my fiance and his mother felt the same way, but we all kept it to ourselves. Finding the Airbnb was almost impossible. It was in the middle of nowhere and it didn't have a real road. The address he gave us led to a completely different house, so he had to manually give us directions. That should have been a red flag. We get there and everything looks the same as the photos, but it also doesn't. I hope that makes sense. This guy comes out and there wasn't anything inherently strange about him, but something seemed off. He mentioned that his girlfriend was in the house and he kept mentioning it, but the way that he said it, I truly didn't think anyone but him was there. He showed us around the farm and he brought us to the cottage that was next to his house. He had one key for the cottage and he didn't give it to us. He kept it.
It's like, just in case I want to come in with you later tonight and snuggle.
Right? Yeah, that's a big red
I would
flag.
have left.
Yeah.
Right there. I'd have been like, yeah, I can't have the key and you keep it. I don't care if you have a backup because I expect that, but you're going to show me it and walk off with it?
I can't lie. There's a pig, so I'd probably be like, I don't know, honey. Maybe give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's go check out the pig.
They're going to feed us to the pig.
Oi.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go. Let's fight. Let's figure out if we got fed to the pig.
He left us to get settled, and my fiance wanted to check out the beach that's about a 10-minute drive away, and his mom decided to stay. We left, and on the drive to the beach, my fiance and I didn't say a word, and that is not like us. We got to the beach, and it felt extremely off. Everything just felt off. Do you know in shows where the character realizes that the background is fake and they push over the painted backdrop? That is exactly how this felt. The restaurant, the cottage, the beach. My fiance and I were standing in the water and not saying a word, and he finally says, I don't like this place. And after that, we started to talk about how something felt off and scary, and we wanted to leave. My fiance is very level-headed, and this was the only time I have seen him be genuinely terrified. We rushed back to the Airbnb, and thankfully the owner was not outside. We walked back into the cottage, normally, to not alert him, and when we walked in, his mom was sitting on the couch, and we said, we want to leave. And she said, I'm glad you said something. I don't feel safe here, and I don't think I could sleep a wink.
And then she said, he's under the bed.
Oh my God, that'd be terrifying. We packed up everything so fast and raced to the car. We were terrified while loading the car with our luggage. At this point, it was becoming dark, and as I said, there was no real road. The entire way back to the bridge, we were all terrified. We all had a sense of impending doom and felt sick to our stomach. We got an hour away from Christmas Island and rented a motel room. We stayed in the same room that night, and we discussed how we all felt scared and creeped out as soon as we crossed the bridge. We don't know what caused it, but we have all never felt that way again. Well, my very first thought when he was like talking about his girlfriend that's in the house, it reminded me of that movie Heretic, where the two Mormon girls knock on the guy's door and he's like, oh, my wife is just in the kitchen baking a blueberry pie and you have to wait so you can try her pie. She makes the best pie. And he kept making them wait and wait and wait. And I'm not going to ruin anything, but there was a scary surprise waiting for them.
There was.
Yeah. Highly recommend. Second thought, as I was just rereading that, it reminds me of House of Wax, that fake town where everyone was just made of wax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to From.
Oh.
Like, you're lucky you didn't go when
Stay
a
the
tree
night.
had fallen,
Yeah,
you
that's
would have gotten
fair.
stuck.
From the TV show.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
TV show from on Amazon.
so good.
That is wonderful.
But that makes sense too. Like
Yeah.
people get trapped there. There's a dark secret.
Oh yes.
Hmm.
Also, yeah, as soon as he dangled the key and said, "Haha, I got a key, you don't," I would have said, "Haha, I'm keeping my money, you won't," and I would have left, dude. That no.
Like I said, I probably would have been like, no, let's just stay. Like, let's spend the night. But I don't think I would have been able to sleep all night. I'd be very scared. So I definitely understand you guys staying and that not being like the final red flag. But the whole town feeling weird is very scary.
Yeah, it's weird, especially because you guys felt that the whole way when you
Yeah.
went to you drove,
And all
no
of you felt it.
conversation, quiet, and then mother-in-law sitting there
Mm-hmm.
quietly by herself saying, "I hope they come back and fucking want to leave. This place is ass."
Yeah.
And then you guys did, and she was,
Yeah.
that's very terrible,
Yeah.
eerie.
I'm glad you guys got out though. And I do kind of feel like if you guys had stayed the night, something scary would have happened.
You remember that pig?
Yeah.
He was a hungry pig.
Yeah,
Telling
maybe.
you, they would have fed you the pig. I feel it.
Something, yeah.
You should follow up with that farm and see if they're still feeding people to that pig.
If I remember right, in the comments they were sharing the Airbnb thing, but people like the link, but people were having issues getting it to open, almost as if they deleted it or something. I didn't look super far into it, because I don't have the Airbnb app. People were saying you had to have the app for it to work. But yeah, I don't know, just very weird vibes, almost like it was posted for that one night only or something.
Ooh, the
Yeah.
one night they're allowed to have guests.
Oh,
The one night mom's out of town.
the one night the pig is hungry.
Well, it's hungry more than
That's
one
true.
night a year. What is this, a mythical pig? Grants your one wish every year that you feed it.
And our final story.
Hold on.
Oh.
I kind of got a story about getting all fucking. Is this where you wanted
Oh,
it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I almost forgot.
Yeah, dude. So this one time, see what happened was, I was on a road trip with my sister and one of her best friends, right? And we were in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, and we were pretty damn hungry because it was a long road trip and we had had a long day. So we hadn't seen food. There was no gas station. There's nothing for miles. And out of nowhere, there's this random ass sign that says there's this ranch and restaurant, and it said it was open. And we're like, that's weird. Tried to Google, there's no service. So we're like, fuck, all right, well, let's try it. So we start driving up this dirt road, and it's very eerie. It's like it's a ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this people's actual property and ranch, but there's signs pointing toward restaurant. So we're like, let's see. And we pull up to this random building that says restaurant on the outside, and we're like, all right. And we walk up, and it's kind of like a normal restaurant. Everything on the outside, though, it's kind of like being on somebody's ranch, somebody's farm. So it feels a little like we're in the wrong place. We walk
Yeah.
in, and it's it's set up just like a regular restaurant. Like it looks like a normal country restaurant, but there's nobody greeting you. There's no employees, it seems. There's tables everywhere. So we kind of look around and we're like, we should probably leave. And as we go to leave, the one table that has people seated at it, and it's a table that's very long, kind of like a Thanksgiving or a Christmas family table. There's a lot of people there. And then around the corner, we can kind of see, hey, there's a couple more tables and there's more people. Well, it was kids at one table, kind of like Thanksgiving or Christmas. So it was like a giant family dinner. And we were like, oh, maybe it's rented out for the day. And we went to leave. But somebody jumped up, came from the table, and said, hey, what can I do for you guys? And we were like, oh, sorry, we were just trying to get something to eat. And so they're like, oh, not a problem. Let me get you a seat. So they took us over to a seat at a little table. And then another person jumped up and kind of seemed a little unhappy with having to leave their table and walked toward the back. And we're like, it's a little different. And then it seemed like everybody started getting up to work to help serve us. Then they quit moving. And there was only two people helping. And the whole time it felt like we were very out of place in the wrong location.
Like not wanted there.
Yeah, like we weren't wanted. So after they took our order, they brought us our drinks, and it took a little bit to get the food, which is understandable, especially since it seemingly we had interrupted their meal. But as soon as our food came out to the tables, uh, e- everybody from their table and the kids' table just kind of stopped eating and slowed down and watched us. like kind of slowly to make sure that we were eating and stare at us. And then the girl that had originally helped us came over to check on us a couple times just to make sure that everything was all right. But everything was quiet and eerie the whole time, and they observed us more than they did anything else. Like as we walked in, we could notice that they were speaking amongst each other, like so you could tell. But as soon as we were there, dead quiet, and all eyes were on us until the moment we left, including the whole drive back down the driveway. And then I've been on that same path on road trips multiple times since, and I don't remember ever seeing that restaurant again.
Yeah. You've told me this story before, never in that much detail. That is so scary.
It was weird,
Yeah.
but I'm probably fine.
Yeah.
So you guys will probably be all right.
With everybody stopping to watch you, it kind of reminds me of that serial killer that had like a barbecue stand on the side of the road, and it was people.
Yeah, it kind of felt like they had served us their last patrons,
Yeah,
and they wanted to make
something.
sure that the recipe was right before they cooked us up. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
I was quick to get out of there. Like I don't
I
think we
bet.
finished our meals. I think I was like, all right, let's go, guys. Like I don't. It was a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure like a couple bites in, I was like, you guys, we should go. And both of them agreed, like, yeah, we feel out of fucking place. Let's see how we pay and go. And we left rapidly.
Yeah.
We didn't, I'm almost 100% going to guarantee we didn't finish our meals because that doesn't sound like me. Finishing my meal sounds like me 100% for
Yeah.
sure. But in an uncomfortable situation like that, no, I'll take that shit to go, or I'm not even going to pay. I'm just swiggity swooty getting out of that booty. It's not a place for me. I got to go. I'll leave the money on the table. I'm not waiting to pay. Like, I got to go.
Do you remember what you ordered? Was it good?
No, I don't remember. What the
Oh.
hell?
Well, I don't know, like
I remember
burgers
being
or
uncomfortable.
a steak or like a weird piece of meat and you're poking at it and you're like, "What is this? This
No,
isn't
I
a
don't
ribeye."
remember anything distinct about the food.
Yeah.
Like, I probably ordered something simple because it's a restaurant I don't trust.
Mm.
So I probably tried to order like chicken tenders or
Yeah.
a simple sandwich or a burger. Again, I don't think I really ate it. I think I took maybe a couple bites, ate some fries, and I was like, let's go, guys. And yeah,
Yeah, that is so weird.
it was.
I'm trying to think if I've ever experienced anything like that. I don't think I have. I think the closest I've come was one time you and I went to visit my little brother and we took him out for food. And it was this weird small restaurant in the middle of Albany, Oregon.
The one he said was the best restaurant in the world.
No, that was the pizza place. This we went for burgers, I think. But it was a very small restaurant, like very Western. So I was super comfortable
I
walking in
remember it was in
immediately.
a random ass fucking parking lot.
Yeah, random ass,
There
like
was
in the
nothing
middle of like the
around.
industrial area or
Yeah, there
something.
was like train tracks and industrial to the one side, and then a couple
Yeah,
houses and neighborhoods on the other side. But it was in a random parking lot by itself. All
yeah.
parking lots around it, they were empty.
But as we walked in, it seemed fine, nothing weird. But as the waitress walked us to our table, everyone stopped eating and just watched us. And that was when it got kind of weird. And then as we were eating, people kept looking at us. But it wasn't as weird as your experience for sure.
No, I think our biggest thing that time was the fact that we were like a quarter of the age of the next person there, besides the
That's
family
true.
that had children,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
they were all grandparents with like their grandkids.
Yeah.
So it was probably weird seeing somebody under 60, and I'm not exaggerating or trying to be funny, but almost every single person was over 60
Yeah.
besides us.
But I love me a Cowboy restaurant. I can't lie.
It's pretty good,
If you want some, especially breakfast, if you want some good breakfast, go to the Cowboys.
I guess.
Yeah, the Cowboy restaurants. Ooh, Western restaurants. They'll do you right every time. But your thing, I can't lie. Obviously, he's told me this story before. We've been together 10 years. But that's why we don't stop at random restaurants on road trips. I'm sure I've missed a ton of good restaurants, but that is so scary. But it reminds me of another story that I read recently because I like to be well informed when I go travel places.
Oh, yeah.
So I joined a bunch of Salem groups
Oh,
before
yeah.
we left. Yeah. And in one of them, maybe it was just a Massachusetts group, but either way, somebody shared how they went into a restaurant during like the middle of the afternoon. The restaurant was open and there was nobody there, like no patrons, no workers, nobody in the kitchen, but the restaurant was open, unlocked. Like they walked through, they waited like half an hour and then they left. And they returned the next day at this like the same time, fully packed. Bunch of people there, bunch of people eating, bunch of people working.
Did they ask?
I don't think they did.
I would have. I'd have been like, hey, I was here fucking yesterday, same
Yeah.
time.
Isn't that so weird though?
It was like I paused time. Nothing
Yeah.
happened in here.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do, honestly. That, like, the heebie-jeebiness of that is a 10 out of 10 for me.
I would take a long video.
Yeah. A
That
live
30
stream on
minutes that I
TikTok.
was there, yeah, I would be, yeah, for sure taking video.
Yeah, like
Like,
that guy who got locked in Planet Fitness during COVID.
worse than that, there's plenty of people that have gotten locked in a lot of buildings where they're like, what the fuck? How did they close me in here? I've seen
Yeah.
some videos. Just nothing comes to light, but
Yeah.
there's tons of them, and that would have been me. I would have been one of those videos.
Yeah. Like, I don't even
Ha!
need
I'm
my
running
food
through
at this
your
point,
restaurant.
but
Ha! I'm
yeah.
cooking all your food.
No.
Oh, no? Okay.
No.
Well, right, because you're usually always with me, so you wouldn't have let me.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You're right, I wouldn't have done that.
The live stream, sure, but not the rest.
Oh, but if I was on my own, guys, best believe I'm an amazing chef.
It's true.
All right, what's next?
Our final story comes to us from Tomato Teeth, which, by the way, your username alone gives me nightmares.
Yeah, I would hate to have tomatoes for teeth.
Is
That
it?
sounds
Yeah.
like an acidic nightmare. I'd always have heartburn.
Is it your teeth are tomatoes or a tomato with teeth? I don't know. I don't like it.
Tomato with
it's
teeth sounds more pleasant.
very unique. You did great in that aspect.
I've seen Veggie Tales. That
Yeah.
tomato had teeth and
He
a
did
mustache.
have teeth. Yeah, that's fair. He didn't have. Did he have a mustache?
Sometimes. Cheeseburger.
That wasn't him. That was somebody else. That was
What?
a little purple thing.
I thought that was the tomato. Oh.
I don't think.
Well,
Anyway.
anyways, the tomato had teeth. But
This
now, if
week
your
on
teeth are
Veggie
made of
Tales.
tomatoes, you got me 50 shades of fucked up. That's terrible. Everything mush.
That would be
Ew.
terrible.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
Do they regrow every
They'd
time
have
you
to.
eat?
Yeah.
Like, no, they were just one-time tomato. Now they're
Aw.
just tomato paste.
No, because then
Ew.
you wouldn't be tomato teeth. You'd be tomato gums.
No, they're
Tomato.
still teeth. You got gums up there. Moving
Anyway.
on.
This will sound so nutty. But
Tomato teeth. It does sound nutty.
But a weird thing, we love it, by the way. We do, genuinely. But a weird thing happened in my house yesterday, and I was Googling a way to find out if others had experienced similar, and my search results all recommended two Reddit subs, a glitch in the Matrix and dimension jumping. I was reading a post on Glitch, and I actually replied to the person with a weird similar experience, and then I saw that OP had posted on the same two subs, so that was neat. Anyhow, yesterday when I woke up, there was a glass on my counter with a big crack and a chip on the rim. It's my son's favorite glass, and it already had a weird enough story. 2015, when my boy was 9, the glass fell and was damaged. My son cried when he saw it. He's neurodivergent, so it was a pretty big thing to him. It was his special glass, so it was memorable. I tried comforting him by telling him we have a second identical glass, so it's terrible, yes, but it'll be okay. I set the damaged glass aside to safely wrap it before putting it in the trash, and then promptly forgot all about it until he brought it to me a few days later, saying, Mom, the glass healed. My glass is all better. I felt like he must have grabbed the identical one, the not broken one, and thought it was his, so I was like, yay! Until later, when I saw the identical, undamaged twin still safely in the cabinet, and the now undamaged and healed glass in my hand. I felt like maybe I was mistaken. I was actually creeped the fuck out, so I shoved it out of my mind, but I know what I saw. Yesterday, it's on the counter, with the same crack and the same chip as it had in 2015 before it healed. I texted my now 20-year-old son, who was out, and asked him if he dropped his glass, and he says, no, why? So I tell him about the crack, and there's a pause, and he asks for a picture, which I send. He says, that's the same crack, the glass unhealed itself, what the fuck? And when he got home, we talk about it, and he remembered perfectly and recounted the whole thing exactly as it happened back then. He does remember it being cracked and crying and then both glasses being fine. He told me, we have to keep it, we can't throw it out. If it happens again, then we have pictures and we'll know. And I can't begin to tell you how unsettled I was/am over that. There have been other weird things, but this glass experience is the one that makes me look for others. Edited to add, we only ever had 2 of the glasses. The orange 2008 Beijing Olympics glass from McDonald's.
Now, I don't know if you set this box with the broken glass on a specific counter, but let me tell you a story. I once had a magic counter myself. I lived in this house where no matter what I did, every time I set a dirty dish on it, the next morning I'd wake up, boom, gone, clean. Didn't matter what it was, actually. If I put garbage on it, the next morning I'd wake up, boom, gone, clean. It started getting a little bit more frequent, too. Like, I'd come home from work, set stuff down on the counter, within hours it'd be gone. I wouldn't even have to wait till the next morning. That counter was hella magical. You might have a magic counter.
That was me.
Look, I don't need to I don't need to understand how the magic works. I don't ask the magician his tricks, so you just might have a magic counter, my friend.
It was me cleaning the kitchen.
Right. Right. But I'm talking about the magic counter now.
Good Lord.
Not everything has to be about you, my wife. I make everything else about you. Let me experience this magic counter with our friend here. Was the CERN particle collider turned off?
Good question. Each time.
Yeah. Where were we in timeline for that?
I think the first time it was turned on was around 2015.
Did you know? Okay, so this kind of has something to do with it, maybe, possibly. So did you know that if you're in a skyscraper with your friend and you guys each have a phone or a watch that can keep track of nanoseconds, and one of you stayed upstairs and one of you ran downstairs and ran back up, that you guys would be on different seconds? Your clocks would no longer match
What?
because of how physics works. The person in motion is moving through time and space faster than the person that's stationary. So their clock is moving slower than the person standing there. The person standing there is accelerating at the speed of the Earth rotation. The person moving is moving against time and space.
There is so much about science that we still don't understand. Good Lord.
Yeah, so I mean, I can't tell you the specifics on how tall of a skyscraper. I think it has to be 20 some odd stories or something. But that's crazy.
That is
It
crazy.
can be tracked by the human eye. So if we are able to do that, and we as regular humans with no extra technology besides a clock, that particle accelerator, I mean, if they're messing with any timelines, for sure this is a glitch. It could be one of those timelines where it just fucking popped that thing back into solid.
And I do believe, like, in case you haven't noticed, I spent a lot of time reading Reddit stories and a lot of time reading glitch stories. This, I think, is the most evidence of this was a glitch. Like, there's no other explanation for that. The same chip, maybe if it was a different chip, like the typical carbon monoxide, you hallucinated. But all this time later, to have the same exact chip, that's insane. All of these stories today are freaking insane.
You're not wrong.
But regardless, I'm glad your son's cup was okay until it wasn't. But I kind of like that your son's cup like fixed itself to be okay until he was older and like it didn't affect him the same way it did when he was a kid.
Well,
It
now
was
he
like,
knows it's gonna
okay.
fix itself. So,
Well, maybe. But either way, the cup was like, okay, I can retire now. Yeah.
you're thinking of Chip.
Yeah.
I knew you
The
were.
teapot or the
Yeah,
teacup. Yeah.
I knew you
Like,
were thinking of Chip from from Beauty and the Beast.
oh yeah.
Oh, look at you knowing
Everything
your
comes
brain.
back to Beauty and the Beast or Sabrina the Teenage Witch, you know?
Or Friends.
Or Friends. That's an easy
Or
one
Supernatural.
too. We just talk about Supernatural a lot.
Well, hopefully his cup is magical and repairs again.
Yeah,
Like I said, try your counter, but definitely follow up with us.
if it fixes itself again, please let us know.
Tell us how long it took too, please.
Yeah. Ooh, what if each time it gets faster?
Oh, man.
But that's all the stories we have for today.
I even told one of my own.
It's true. Next week we will be wrapping up our Salem series.
Yeah.
Not for good. Like I said, in the future we're going to talk about haunted locations within Salem, but we got to take a break for a little bit. I'm starting to get a little depressed that we are not in Salem, so got to step away.
She got the map out again.
Yeah. But if you enjoyed anything you heard today, please like, rate, review, anything like that, because it helps push us out in the algorithms and helps more people learn about us, which is really fun to us. And you could tell people one day your review helped pay for us to retire to Salem and do the podcast full time.
You could say you helped be you're one of our originals that helped get us going. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would. If you or somebody you know has had a brush with the paranormal and would like to have that story read on the podcast, please email it to anxiousatbedtimepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on social media. We have a
TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and again a Gmail.
Yeah, that Gmail could be poppin' if you just send us your poppin' stories.
The world can be a scary place with everything glitching. Glitch. I'm not glitching, you are. But we're probably probably fine.
We're probably fine.
We're probably fine. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't be too anxious.